Tonight, sector identified a solution to epileptic energy supply and unemployment. Deaf community asked President Goodluck Jonathan to sign Disability Act into law. Relief comes the way. And in sports, Nigeria Football Federation commends under-17 national team as reactions trail 1-0 defeat of Golden Eaglet by South Africa. Good evening and thank you for joining us on NTA2 News at 7. I am Aderola Omokibe. Harnessing the great potentials in the Nigerian gas sector has been described as an efficient way of facilitating the country's economic growth. This was the position of speakers at the 12th Annual Aret Adams Lecture Series held in Lagos. Tunde Saiki reports.
The two guest speakers at the lecture titled Gas, an Engine of Growth for Nigeria, Dr. David E. added will help to boost the nation's gross domestic product. They opined that gas infrastructure is being improved upon in the country and hope that within the shortest possible time, Nigerians will begin to reap the benefits domestically and internationally.
Consistent vandalization will allow us some respite for Nigerians to feel the benefits of the work that has been done so far.
The way gas is being harnessed, we can improve the quality of life of Nigerians.
The chairman of the event, former country chair of shell companies in Nigeria, Mr. Basil Omi, said the visionary disposition of late Aret Adams, in whose honor the lecture is organized, set the template upon which the growth in the oil and gas sector in Nigeria is being built upon.
If you apply to South African oil, you cannot have Nigerian oil because we know that most people want this also, but we never receive the local. So, and we don't know how much electricity we produce because there's so much power generation.
The organizers of the annual lecture noted that the choice of this year's theme is to find solutions to gas questions and search for rapid national economic development and growth.
Basically, first is that it is possible. Nigeria has lagged behind in terms of gas development.
The Aret Adams Lecture Series started in 2003 by the Center for Petroleum Information in honor of late Chief Aret Adams. The Saiki, NTA News.
The Nigerian deaf community has appealed to President Goodluck Jonathan to sign the disability bill into law to enable them exercise their rights. The community made this known at a media election of President Goodluck Jonathan in the 2015 elections.
Statistics indicate that Nigeria presently has more than 22 million by the community is therefore to alert the President Goodluck Jonathan on the many challenges confronting them, especially those of unemployment and discrimination, and for the President to sign the disability bill into law so as to improve their standard of living.
We are together. We have mothers, we have children, we have our husbands, we have family, we have our home.
If possible, go back to the idea of segregation, the whole system we are using before. Inclusion is not system.
Community raised the alarm over non-existence of sign language interpreters at the various centers where permanent voters' cards are collected. The group said the situation may affect their chances of participating and ensure that interpreters are present at polling units during the elections. In Lagos, Abolore Ogbara, NTA News.
Officers and ratings of the Nigerian Navy have been charged to demonstrate a high sense of discipline for elections. Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Usman Jibril, gave the charge during an interactive session with the officers and ratings in Lagos. Ken Igbeluge has details.
The Chief of the Naval Staff told the officers and ratings not to allow themselves to be used by politicians to cause electoral violence during and after the 2015 general elections. He said so much is expected from the Navy, and as such, the officers and ratings should eschew all forms of behaviors that are capable of bringing the Nigerian Navy into disrepute.
We have to be for the
and the movement of Nigerian people. You are military men, current member of any party.
The chief of the nations involved will face the full wrath of the law.
Once this is done, what I immediately do is to set up a general court martial, kidnap a person, and get a person released.
On the welfare and training of the Navy personnel, the Chief of the Naval Staff assured them that the Navy will continue to do its best towards improving the living standards of its personnel. In Lagos, Ken Ibeluge, NTA News.
The Niger rational ways of effectively policing the Lagos metropolis before, during and after the polls. Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 2 Command Joseph Umbu stated this while any police officer is killed by armed hoodlums, the police will retaliate by killing 20 or more civilians.
I said, if dogs attack my policemen and the police that are alive should repel them, they should fight back. If the dogs attack policemen, the policemen should reply. You cannot sovereignty. So anybody who walks up to the police and slaps the police will slap the person properly and handcuff him.
The AIG added that deployment of police officers to parts of a state is meant to boost security. Relief has come the way of over 300 prospective applicants of a Joint Admission Matriculation Board examination (JAMB) who were defrauded by a cyber cafe operator in Lagos. The examination board has given them additional 2 days to register for the examination. Most of the applicants had lost hope of gaining admission into higher institutions this year before JAMB intervened. Kende Olaleye reports that the alleged culprit has been arrested by the police.
Joint Admission and Matriculation Board examination in Lagos realized at the end of the registration period that their effort at gaining admission to higher institution this year had been dashed in spite of paying the prescribed fee to a cyber cafe operator who failed the only source of admission to higher institution in the country. Few days after this display of anger and uncertainty, the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board reopened the registration portal for the affected candidates between midnight February 16th to midnight February 18th. Speaking on the development, the coordinator, National JAM Headquarters, Lagos Annex Office, Dr. Beatrice Okori, said the board took the decision so that the candidates would not have to wait another year to write the examination.
The site was opened for 2 days and a good number of them, even more, had an opportunity to come around and they were all registered.
Some of the affected applicants expressed their gratitude to JAM and the fraudulent cyber cafe operator is currently in police custody. In preparation for the 2015 UTME, Dr. Okori noted that there are about 35 computer-based centers in Lagos. The computer-based test is expected to commence in March. Olaleye, NTA News.
The Nigerian Police Force has assured residents of Lagos State of adequate security protection during and after the 2015 general election. Divisional Police Officer in charge of Victoria Island to NTA2 Lagos Network Center, Ken Igbeluge, has the details.
As we prepare for future elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission is set to distribute permanent voter cards and conduct continuous voter registration. Therefore, from Friday 7th to Sunday 9th November 2014, the Commission will distribute permanent voter cards in all polling units between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily. Visit the polling units where continuous voter registration will take place from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily at designated centers in all wards. Persons whose names are missing on the voters register, adults who did not register previously due to any reason, as well as those who have attained the age of 18, register afresh if your name is not on the voters register. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
My name is Ademola Adeoye.
I am Olajide Bello.
I am Viera Chomoba. We are broadcasting live from Lagos Network Center here on Victoria Island.
Many voices, one broadcast.
Your
your belt and run up to any Star Times business outlet.
To do what?
To go get Star Times decoder free.
Wow! Star Times decoder free?
Oh yes! Star Times decoder is free to every new subscriber when they recharge 1 month.
Get Star Times decoder free!
Over 80 mind-blowing channels are waiting to make this season special for you and your family. Existing Star Times customers should renew their subscription to get 50% discount for the second month. Old and new subscribers get free instant prizes like rechargeable lamps, smartphones, TV sets, and a Lux Bedmate 6 sofa at Star Prize in the grand draws. Also, introducing the new StarSat HD decoder with over 100 exciting channels for you. Subscribe for 3 months and get the StarSat decoder and satellite dish free of charge. What an amazing season of freebies! Get your own StarTimes decoder free now. Promo valid while stock lasts. Terms and conditions apply. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
You dey show yourself all these years. I just dey look you. This time you go know the kind person we are.
I been the watch as you dey try scatter my future.
The future wey I dey try organize for myself. Small. Na him you dey try kill abi?
Na to kill, scatter and destroy my purpose always dey your agenda abi? Oh, but you know fit o, not this time.
I don set my own agenda.
I know how well your agenda go fit pass my agenda.
Because my agenda strong pass your agenda.
For this election, the agenda now.
It's our future.
No violence.
Just vote.
Set the agenda for this election. No violence. Just vote.
Millimeters. Use the 13 megapixel camera to capture all your precious moments. Enjoy the gallery with a 5-inch HD display and multi-touch screen. StarTimes Solar 5 phone. Affordability.
Many thanks for staying on. Now entertainment news. Burna Boy now has his own record label as Chris Brown's past catches up with him at the border. Elizabeth Omoyi has details.
Hello Lagos, it's now time to talk entertainment. Finally, Afro-pop star Burna Boy has set up his own record label 2014. It will be recalled that Burna Boy signed a 2-year deal with his former record label in 2012. His record label is called Spaceship Entertainment. From the set of Celebrity Apprentice. The phones are reportedly said to belong to Hollywood actress Vivica Fox. Kenya Moore's publicist says the allegations against the ex-beauty queen are false. Meanwhile, Chris Montreal on Wednesday was not allowed to enter the country as the Canadian immigration officers were not satisfied with his criminal records. CBC News reported that the show has been cancelled and is found Omori.
And now to sports. The Nigeria Football Federation has commended the Under-17 national team, the Golden Eaglets, for earning a place at the FIFA under Melvin Pinnick, says Wednesday's semi-final defeat to South Africa at the Africa Under-17 Championship has not diminished the value of the Eaglets' accomplishment. He said, importantly, they want to build a sustainable football culture. Meanwhile, football followers in the country have expressed divergent views on the 1-0 loss of the Golden Eaglets to their South African counterparts.
On the way to the last paper any longer, it's not on how big or being the giant of Africa. You have to really sweat for it. I thought South Africa finishing second in their group and Nigeria finishing strongly as top of Group A. And it is confirmed that we already qualified for the FIFA Under-17 Championship. When it comes to Under-17, it's all about developmental. That's why we get it wrong. We want to win at all costs. But at that stage, what you need is to be fit.
It's just a wake-up call for them to bounce back and prepare very well for the World Cup that is taking place later this year.
All 3 Nigerian club sides hosting continental club matches will all be engaged this Saturday in the CAF Champions. Gift George has details.
Kano Pillars a fortnight ago beat Al Malaki Football Club of South Sudan in Juba 2-0, and the Sani Abacha Stadium will host the return leg on Saturday by CAF Champions League Eyimba Football Club will depart Nigeria on Friday for Benin Republic, where they'll defend their 3-0 first leg win over Buffalo's Dubrojo in Cotonou. They will await the victorious side between Al Ali of Libya and Simoru of Egypt in the Club Bobo Dioulasso, who will try to obtain the 1-0 lead of Royal Wolves in the CAF Confederations Cup. The winner will face either Cote d'Or of Seychelles or Dede Beat of Ethiopia in the next round of the competition. While in Port Harcourt, Dolphins Football Club have the herculean task of cancelling their 1-0 loss to the Lyons Vegetarians. The Nigerian Football Federation's head of Federations Cup unit, Ruth David. Federations Cup will begin with the state preliminaries, which will involve the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory on March 7. The preliminaries is expected to end with the finals on April 4 and May 13 and 14. This year's Men and Women Federations Cup Grand Finale has been slated for August 16.
Still on sports, the International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach inspects over FIFA's decision to change the date of the 2022 World Cup. International Olympic Committee IOC President Thomas Bach has met with Brazil's president during his inspection of 2016 host city Rio. During the meeting, Bach invited Rousseff to light up the Olympic flame in Greece and also to run a leg in the touch relay before the Games. Bach and other officials of the International Olympic Committee were the worst in history. But in spite of delays in the building of the Velodrome, Broadcast Center and completion of a subway line with about a year and a half before the Games, Bach expressed satisfaction to World Cup to November and December due to the weather in Qatar. The IOC says the days would clash with the Winter Olympics.
And it was me that a clash between the FIFA World Cup and the Olympic Winter Games would be a no-win situation because then...
Before we go, a recap of the major stories again. Nigeria's oil and gas sector holds the key to stable power supply and job creation. Give them a high sense of belonging. We also brought you a report that the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board JAM has given 300 students defrauded by a conman 2 days to register.